We're ready to begin. Madam Clerk, please call the roll call.
State Attorney Ehrenberg, Public Defender Howitt,
Here.
Commissioner Headley,
Here.
Commissioner Cardell, Commissioner Lafredo,
Here.
Commissioner Priori,
Here.
Commissioner Smith-Gordon.
Present. Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum? I believe we do. Is that correct?
Yes.
As a formality, we have well, it's not totally in bunk, but this is the meeting of an Inspector General IG committee meeting. It is not simply a Commission on Ethics meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to ratify the contract of the Inspector General, John Kerry, whom this Inspector General committee selected last Thursday. As such, those of us out of the 7 are present today. Okay? This is a formality. It has only been done once before, and it was not the Inspector General Committee because there was not an Inspector General Committee. We've only had one Inspector General, and that's currently Inspector General Steckler. When the Steckler was hired by the county, there was a selection committee which comprised of, I believe, members of the Commission on Ethics. So we are pleased to now have there are members there of Inspector General Committee to now ratify what we hope to be the final contract of John Kerry, who was selected last week. You have had an opportunity to be emailed the proposed contract, which has been agreed upon by Mr. Kerry, negotiated by me as chair with the great assistance of the county attorney, Denise Neiman, assistant county attorneys, Lenny Berger, who is here today, David Otti, I believe that's his name, the assistant county administrator, Brad Merriman, and with the approval of the county administrator, Bob Weissman. Of course, ultimately, it was also approved by our proposed Inspector General, John Kerry. So this formality that we have here is for us, the committee, to take a look at it, review it, ask questions if we have any, but to, in essence, ratify it because it has been agreed upon by the parties. The next step is for it to go before the Board of County Commissioners, and in hopes that will be on the agenda. I believe it's already placed on the agenda for this Tuesday. We were able to get this done in short order. So, having said all of that, are there any questions from any of the commission members about what you've read, and then I can perhaps answer this. Before you ask the questions, let me assure you that the proposed contract that you have is substantially the same as the contract that, in substance, it is the same, substantially the same as that of our Inspector General Steckler. In form, in terms of the way it looks, it's completely different. If you've had a chance to compare. So I just wanted you to know that in substance it's very similar. Of course, one of the differences, or the main difference in the contract, is the starting salary. The starting salary, as we, the committee, placed was in our announcement for the position, was a range of $150,000 to $180,000. Mr. Kerry, in his application, or on his application, placed that his minimum salary would be $180,000. Mr. Kerry also gave us information that his current salary is indeed $190,000. So numerically, it is a decrease in salary that he has taken. What I did in my very unique position of negotiating on behalf of him as well as on behalf of the taxpayers, as the county, is to look at the complete package, not just the numeric value of the dollar figure, but the complete compensation package, and that's how we came up with it. The way we did that is we took a look at, of course, the current Inspector General's package, along with the other executives in the county who are similar situated to that of the incoming Inspector General. We also took a look at other Inspector Generals in the state. There are only 2 others in the state, and that's Broward and Miami. So we did a lot of work in a very short period of time to make some comparisons and to come up with what we thought was fair to both the county, the taxpayers, and to the incoming Inspector General. He will receive a compensation, a salary number that is slightly less than what he requested. Instead of $180,000, he will be receiving $175,000. He will receive the standard vacation time, sick leave time, health insurance, participation in the Florida Retirement Plan, and he will also receive those compensation matters that are geared towards the executives. For instance, your deferred retirement compensation, car allowance, and he will also start with a credit of 80 hours of sick leave time and 80 hours of vacation time, which is the same as Inspector Steckler began her tenure with us. That's about it in substance. Are there any questions?
Motion to approve employment contract for the Inspector General.
Second.
Question? Okay. The motion has been moved by Commissioner Priori and seconded by Public Defender Committee Member Carrie Howard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Thank you. I would ask that we as a committee, as a body, support the Inspector General. Of course, this is my first time being as active, or active at all in this process. And it is going to be on the agenda on the 20th, which is next Tuesday. I think in the audience we have County Administrator, I call him the head of HR in this county, from Brad Merriman, who helped me tremendously. And by the way, I want to say thank you to Inspector General Steckler, who gave me the information from a historical point. Without that, I would not have had a starting point for negotiating the county's contract. This is not generally what I do, and with your help, it was extremely successful. So thank you. Mr. Merriman, welcome.
Good afternoon,
Good.
Madam Chair, committee members. And first of all, before I address the question, we would like to thank you all very much for everything that you've done. My staff very much enjoyed working through the process with you, and believe this was done in an extraordinarily professional and timely manner. And the Chair, thank you so much for everything that you did with regards to the negotiation of the contract.
Thank you.
It was really about as much as we could have possibly asked for. We have placed this item on the County Commission agenda for Tuesday. Fortunately for all of us, we have a very reasonably light agenda on Tuesday. It's the last item on the regular agenda, which sounds bad, but if I were to make a prediction, I would say that it would happen pretty quickly in the morning because we do have a fairly light agenda. So I'm thinking somewhere between 9:45 and 10 o'clock, hopefully.
Okay.
I will make a further review of that when I get back to my office, but right now it looks like it will happen rather quickly.
Thank you. Mr. Merriman, do you know whether or not Mr. Carey will be present for that meeting?
When I spoke to him earlier this week, he did not indicate that he would be here. I did mention to him that if he wanted to watch it live on the internet, he could. If he was so bored he had to watch a county commission meeting. But he didn't indicate that he would be here, but I don't expect that there will be any issues of any consequence.
Thank you. And do you know when his start date will be?
It will be June 23rd.
Okay. And so there will be a little bit of an overlap between the two positions. I suspect that will enable Ms. Steckler to get Mr. Carey up to speed. Would that be all right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions?
If I may, how much of an overlap?
1 week.
1 week? Okay.
5 working days.
Oh, you'll get him up to speed in that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Commissioner?
I would just like to compliment your staff, especially Leonie. She's helped us terrific with her paperwork and preparing us and whatnot.
Well, since I have the microphone, if I may, Madam Chair, Leilani is an exceptional employee. She's worked for me in one capacity or another for somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 years, and this is the level of expertise that we've come to expect from her. So on behalf of everybody, I want to thank her also.
Well, thank you. That means you cannot drop in your level of it, expected work product.
We wouldn't expect that.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was as to Mr. Merriman. So is this our last meeting with Ms. Steckler?
This is actually our last meeting with Ms. Steckler. She spoke last Thursday, but at that time, I think I misspoke because I thought that it would just be the Commission on Ethics who would be ratifying this contract today. As this, in fact, is your last meeting with members of your Inspector General Committee, would you like to say some words?
One more time. As I said last week, it has been a privilege, it's been an honor to serve you all, even though short time for the four of you, and Ms. Howitt and I have gone from the very beginning. We've seen lots of changes, lots of transitions, but I'm very excited you've chosen well, and he will be very pleased to have such a fine IG committee. So thank you.
Well, thank you for your service to Palm Beach County and for working with us, your committee. We appreciate everything you've done.
My pleasure.
Could I just, as sort of the longest-serving member of this
Absolutely.
process,
Absolutely.
and having gone through this with Ms. Steckler in terms of the interviews and all of that and seeing what's happened, I just really do want to thank you for what you have done with this office, with the concept, and with the philosophy. I think you have moved us just tremendously forward. And in some ways, it's, I'm sad to see you go, but sometimes transition is what is also a good thing all the way around. But what you have given in terms of your service to our county, really, thanks doesn't do it. It will be remembered.
Thank you.
So thank you.
We definitely wish you well. I want to acknowledge, you know what, I don't think that I had public comments mentioned. So do we have any? No cards? Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge in the audience members of the staff that we work with as a Commission on Ethics. And over there and to my right, hello to everybody, including our Executive Director, Steve Cullen is in the audience, and all of the investigators and intake officer and everyone who makes us look good. And Chief Counsel, that's right, sorry. Hello also to Mr. Lenny Berger, who was one of the original writers of the ordinance. So thanks for being here. Now, may I please have a motion to adjourn?
Do it again. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Steckler.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Fiore and seconded by Commissioner Headley. All in favor? Aye. All right, post same sign. Thank you.